Hello, good citizens of the Sassyverse. Today I figured I would make a completely different video with you all, and for the first time, I am going to try and do a cute little plan with me video for my weekly tarot messages. I'm going to be pulling an energy reading from the Moonology deck. It's one of my favorite cards, one of my favorite oracle decks. I like it a lot because I like the color patterns and I really like the art on them as well. And I'm a big sucker for anything related to zodiacs. So, what I typically do when I pull like messages of guidance for the week, I do an energy reading and then I like to pull a retain and a release. So I'm going to go ahead and see what the cards are telling me that I should focus on in terms of like my energy. The cool thing about tarot is if you pull cards long enough, you're going to start noticing a lot of synchronicity in energy and messages across different readings, different decks, etc. So let's see what they have in store for me for this week. I'm always nervous about what the cards are going to tell me because they typically read me for absolute filth. Um, I have actually never gotten this message before. This is the disseminating moon. I don't even know what disseminating moon means. I'm going to have to look it up. I'm going to be pulling tarot cards. This is a tarot deck, the Guardian of the Night tarot deck. Um, I'll link all of the decks and everything below, but these are what the cards look like. Again, I'm really drawn to tarot cards based on art. And then from the tarot cards specifically, I'm going to be pulling messages for release and retain. Release could be something that you need to stop focusing on. It could be something that you need to like find closure with. It could also mean something that you just need to let go and move on from. It could also be something that you need to work on healing. Retain could mean something that you need to focus on, something that you need to spend more energy or more time acquiring skills for. It could be something that you need to invite more of into your life. So it's not always keep or let go. So I'm just going to start by writing the date. I used to do this every single day after I'd gone through like a really bad breakup. I would do energy, release, retain every single day, but it was just getting really time consuming. So I want to get back into the habit of journaling regularly. But what I'm going to be doing actually is doing it every week because I think that that is a good way for me to kind of like stay focused on everything. Um, I like creating borders with washi. I've done it with a lot of different things, and I'll be honest with you, washi is just the fastest way to do it. The line will be straight. I like that the line will always be decorative and patterned, and so I try to like collect thin washi that I can use as borders to break up my pages. And then for a lot of these images and everything, I actually just went on Pinterest and I looked up the phrase purple aesthetic and pink and purple anime girls. I just went on Pinterest. I'm not selling any of this. This is just for my personal journal usage. And so I printed everything out on sticker paper. I would suggest like if you are like on a budget like I am and you just don't have disposable income for lots of different sticker stationery, but you do have your own printer and you have access to like sticker paper, I would suggest just doing it this way. It's a quick way to quote unquote increase your stationery like bulk without actually having to spend so much money individually on stickers. Obviously, my preference, if you can afford it, is always going to be to support the small shops and the independent artists that create all of these different art. But if you can't do that, this is just a quick way to still showcase their art and still shout out the artists who are making really cool things. So I'm just going to label this so that I can journal the messages. I'm not super great with lettering, but I have like my own way of doing it and I'm happy with it. I am kind of choosing sort of like a shaky, dotty way to like outline it. I have never been good at creating an outline around it. I love when people are good at creating like a drop shadow or outlining their lettering. Mine never looks as perfect as I want it to, but I found that kind of doing this like sort of like loose, squiggly, dotty kind of line, I found that that is much easier for me. And so then I don't get all like wrapped up in the perfectionism of it all, like I am right now with this tape. I do love that tape once you get it down right. It can be in a straight line, but um, I don't even think I nailed it, y'all. I think it's still crooked. Oh man. But yeah, I also try to save all of the residual sticker paper. I tend to use sticker paper a lot because it saves me on glue. And then, like, all of the scraps of sticker paper, I can use it to, like, write letters or do cute little drawings and doodles and essentially just create, like, little stickers that I can put on top of things. So the word energy is written on sticker paper that I can just cut out and apply. Um, I like to label what deck I'm using. For a long time, I actually just used one deck, so I didn't have to like label which deck I was using for which one. This is going to be like my first time of pulling energy from an oracle deck and then pulling my retain and release from a tarot deck, like kind of like splitting it up. I typically do energy, retain, and release all from the same tarot deck. Um, this message is kind of like it's coming for me a little bit. It's really talking about how I need to like take a pause and actually like try to process some of the lessons that I've gotten from different situations and experiences and setbacks. I'm not good at that. I am the type of person that just wants to solve the problem. I have a lot of masculine energy naturally where I just want to forge forward. I want to solve, I want to fix, I want to keep that train moving. And so the energy for this week is to actually slow down and process things on an emotional level instead of trying to avoid them or just powering through them. That's not something that comes easy to me, but it is, I think, at this point, because I do have a lot of like heavy emotions that are kind of like weighing on me that I haven't processed. I think it's a really good, it's a timely message for me to say, hey, let's process some of these emotions right now. And then, create a plan based on the lessons I've learned and so that I can move forward instead of just blindly moving forward as a distraction so that I don't have to work through the emotions that I'm experiencing these days. Um, for this, I just went on Pinterest and I searched, I think, purple celestial background or wallpaper. And then I also searched black anime girl. I love the like anime chibi manga drawings and all of that, but like one of the things that always kind of makes me sad with any stickers that are related to like people stickers, I just feel sad that like there's not an overwhelming abundant like options for black and brown people. And so I personally I try to seek that out as much as I can. I want to see representation that like looks like me in my community throughout my journal. I'm not hardcore about it. Like obviously if there's a cute girl with white skin, I'm not going to be like, "I won't put you in my journal." But I do really, really, really want to be intentional about like filling my journal with beautiful brown and black people, because I feel like that representation is a source of empowerment for me. And since it's not easily accessible or readily available, it's definitely something that I have to be intentional about seeking out on purpose. And so I'm doing the same thing on this side. I'm just labeling the deck and I'm calling, just I use the Guardian of the Night deck. It's one of my favorite decks. It's based on animals, but I gotta be honest, aside from the art, one thing that I really love about this deck is the way that the cards are interpreted. I don't know a whole lot about tarot. I've only been like trying to consistently do it for like a year and a half or something like that. So I don't have everything completely memorized, but even if I did, I probably wouldn't rely heavily on my memory. I think I also just really enjoy engaging with guidebooks and engaging with symbolism and history and culture connected through the symbolism. I find that to be incredibly enriching. And so I personally really enjoy like reading the guidebooks and seeing what the artist and what the authors had intended as they interpreted the tarot cards themselves as when they were designing them. So yeah, I'm just using washi again to create a line or a border. I don't know why I have I have a hard time leaving negative space in terms of composition. I don't know. I'm working on like being okay with negative space, but ordinarily I kind of want everything to be filled. I don't know why. It just makes me anxious when there's too much like of the paper showing and I want like a tape or a sticker or a doodle or something in every single bit of the space. And that is not only not always helpful, it is not, sometimes less is more. Sometimes less is more. And I got to be honest, um, aside from when it comes to my art, I tend to be pretty minimalist in so many aspects of my life. But there's something about like creating a collage where I'm like, more is more. So I think that creating these plan with me's will allow me to kind of like objectively look at my process for creating collages and journaling, and maybe help me to streamline it a little bit more, help me to lean into making mistakes without um, being too hard on myself, and then also help me to like accept negative space as part of the art. What I love about my tarot messages is that they are confirmation from the energy, basically telling me to slow down and actually start working through some of these hard emotions instead of powering through and rushing through and taking on new projects and just filling up all of my energy. So here are the cards that I pulled again. That was energy. This is what I need to release, and this is what I need to retain. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it.